Hello everyone. Today I'm going to teach you how to solve three equations with three variables on the TI-83 Plus graphing calculator. And this is the fastest and most efficient method I have found so far, and it seems to work fairly well. So here we have three equations: negative x plus 2y minus z equals 9, 3x minus 7y minus 2z equals negative 20, 2x plus 2y plus z equals 2. So, first thing we're going to do is on our TI-83 Plus we have a matrix button. It's actually the second option of the inverse button. So if you hit second and then this x to the negative first, we'll bring up the matrix menu, and then we can go over to edit, and we're going to use matrix A. It doesn't really matter which matrix you use, but for this I'm just going to use matrix A. So press enter there. It's going to ask you what your dimensions are, and we're going to have a 3 by 4 matrix. So the first thing you want to do is you look up at your first equation. We have negative x, so we're looking at the coefficients in front of each variable. So x times negative 1 is negative x, so the coefficient for this first variable is going to be negative 1. So type in negative 1. Make sure you use this negative button, and this is just the minus operator, so you got to make sure you use this one. So negative 1 for the first value, and then we have 2 in our next coefficient, and then negative 1 again here. And then for our fourth row, or fourth column, sorry, we're going to use the number that's to the right of the equal sign. In this case it's 9. And then press enter, it moves on to the next row. Now we have 3, negative 7, negative 2, and negative 20 for this fourth row. Then it's 2, 2, and 1, and 2. So now that we're done with that, we can get out of this by pressing second and this mode button, which says quit above it. I'll quit out of that menu. And now we can go back into the matrix menu, pressing second and then this inverse button, matrix, and go into the math option this time. This is going to bring up a bunch of operations you can do to matrices, and we're going to scroll down to this option. It says RREF. That stands for Reduced Row Echelon Form. Press enter, and then we're going to take the reduced row echelon form of this first matrix that we just filled out, matrix A. Press enter, close off your parentheses, and when you press enter, you'll see it comes up very nicely with the reduced row echelon form of our matrix, which in this case it's 1, 0, 0, negative 1, 0, 1, 0, 3, 0, 0, 1, negative 2. And this doesn't look very helpful to us right now, but if we look, this number corresponds to our x, so since there's a 1 here and a 0 in every other spot, that means that our 1 is our coefficient in front of x, and our 0 is the coefficient in front of each of the other variables. So since 0 times any other number is 0, we essentially just cross out these other variables, and we're left with x. And 1 times x is x, so x equals negative 1. It's the same thing for y. You can see zeros for all of the other variables here and a 1 for y, and this means that y is equal to 3. And then z, same logic here, 0, 0, 1, so 1 is the coefficient in front of our z, and z equals -2. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it's helpful to you. It'll certainly help you, especially when you're checking your work. And yeah, hopefully this is helpful.